Okay, good evening. My name is Celine Hernandez, and my partner, Jesus Gonzalez, is here with me. He will be my moderator.
Good evening. My name is Celine Hernandez, and my moderator.
I wonder why I can't hear myself. Oh, I know why. Give me 1 second. There. Okay, back. So again, good evening. My name is Celine Hernandez. I am here with my partner, Jesus Gonzalez. He is a fourth grade teacher, fourth grade math and science teacher at Shore Haven. You can see his email there. And I am a second grade math and science teacher at Doherty Elementary. And my Twitter handle is also on there as well. In my classroom here at Doherty, I have 4 Chromebooks and 5 iPads available to me, as well as a smart board. Jesus in his classroom has 12 Chromebooks that are available to him and his students. Today, I will be talking about 3 different tools that you and your students can use to gather feedback, maybe about your lessons, creating quick exit tickets, and quick assessments as well. Some of the ISTs for this presentation is some for the teachers is the 7B to use technology to design and implement a variety of formative and summative assessments that accommodate learner needs, provide timely feedback to students, and inform instruction. 7C, use assessment data to guide progress and communicate with students, parents, and education stakeholders to build student self-direction. And for the student one, it's 3D, student build knowledge by actively exploring real world issues and problems, developing ideas and theories, and pursuing answers and solutions. So some of the tools that I will be using are SurveyMonkey, Socrative, and Google Forms. SurveyMonkey you've probably only used for making surveys for teachers and maybe even for your parents, but we could also use them as tools for our students, creating tests for them, quick quizzes, and I will show you a little bit of it when I go in there. There are all actually very simple tools to use. For the SurveyMonkey and the Socrative, all I needed was a username and my email address, and I just pretty much used my work address, my work email address, and you can also connect them to your Google account. That way, it's one less email address or access that you have to remember. The Google Forms you can find on your drive, on your Google Drive. So I will go ahead and start with the SurveyMonkey. So it is very, very simple to use. Create creating a very simple. You just go to my surveys, and I just created a quick one so that you could see how to view some of the stuff. One of the ones that I created right now in my classroom, we're learning to uh, subtract and add 3-digit numbers. And I created a quick one, and I will show you. There's a couple of different things that you can use. So in this one, let me see. Oh, it's going into the analysis. Never mind. Let's see, my surveys. I will. We go into the design. That was. I'll show you what we did on there. So I just made like quick questions, and you can do different things to have them answer. For the first one, I put, how well did you understand today's lesson? And they can use, I put 5 stars. So if they, understood it pretty well, they would give the 5 stars. If they kind of understood it, but might need some help, maybe 3 stars and 1 star if they did not understand. For the second one, I put, how confident do you feel about subtracting 3-digit numbers with regrouping? And I would also explain what they would need to do on here. For example, if you feel pretty comfortable, then you can click on the second hand and it would choose, give you 2 thumbs up for doing that. For if you really understood it very well. If you kind of understood it, you could put just the one thumb, and or no. I don't know where it went. Next, sorry. Back to design. And sorry, my internet right here is kind of slow. So again, right here, 2 thumbs up for if they understood it completely, 1 thumb up if they kind of understood it but need more clarification, and then also an open-ended, like, I did not understand, I need more help. And then the third one, I did an open-ended question like, what strategy is your favorite and why? So we've been learning about different strategies that they can use, and they can explain which one they liked and why that was their favorite to solve. And then in the last one, I also did an open-ended one, and I put, using your favorite strategy, find the difference, and then they would just put their answer. Of course, they would solve the problem maybe like on their notebook and then put the answer on there. So then if we go back to my surveys, that was one that I just created to show, but I can show you that it's very easy. If you go to create survey, there's like many different things that you can do. As you saw in that one, I had different ways that they could respond, either by giving stars, by thumbs up. So here I'm going to show you how to start one from scratch. Survey name, let's say weather. We're going to do weather. And then category, education, and create survey. So then you could create a new question. And then there's different ways that you can do it. Put question 1, and then the way that they can respond is either by multiple choice. They have a lot of different options here. If you want an open-ended question, ranking, matrix, um, you could also put like if you want to know who's responding, one of your questions could be name for them to put their name to make sure you know who the student was that maybe didn't understand it as well. If you just want to know, oh, okay, most of the class understood it, or what were their misconceptions, you might not need to have them put their name in there. But if you want to know who the struggling student was, you would want to put that maybe as your first question, like for them to enter their name and just leave it as an open ended question, like comment box or single text box. Um, so create yours, and you can do multiple ways of answering. So the first one could be like a multiple choice. Your second one, if you noticed on mine, I had like 3 different kind of ways that they could answer. So you could just kind of play with it and see what you like um, to to do with yours. What else? If I go to my previous one, the editing, once I put, where is it? Whether this one, since this one I've already mostly done. Another way, something else that you would need to know is how to share it. And there's a couple of different ways that you can share it. Um, I there's you can do it as an email invite, send it out to the students through email. You could do a web link to put it, maybe if you have a Google Classroom where your kids can access, do it on there. Or you could, let's see, add new collector. Um, where was it? Just lost it, or was it this one? Survey Monkey. Give me 1 second. Response. Is it the web collector? Okay, so here's another way. So you can post that link, or you could also do a QR code, print out the QR code and post it somewhere in your classroom for the kids to get their iPads and use the QR code to access the survey. So you could print this out. And so that would be another way that the kids could access the survey. Then eventually, if you use these enough, your kids could start maybe creating some of their own surveys. I was thinking when we talk about data and we start collecting information like favorite toys, favorite sports, the kids could, because I feel like it's very user friendly, the kids could create their own, as well as right now in my math class, we're also working on creating story problems. So maybe with their group, they could create some story problems and put them on the survey for their classmates to answer later on. Um, so that's a little bit of the how they could use these the Survey Monkey in other ways besides just doing surveys. Go back to the other one. There's also the Socrative. This one, the kids might not be able to, well, they wouldn't be able to create their own, but it would be a good way for you to create quick ones for them. So Socrative, you also really only need your email address to get access to it. There is a pro one that you can pay for, but it is kind of pricey. And for the basic things that you would probably want to do, you don't need to pay very much. I mean, you can just do the free one. So it give you a room number. If you do the free one, you can only have one room, and my room number would be one Hernandez 150. And that's actually the one that the website gave me, and I felt like it was pretty easy, so I just kept it. But if you go into rooms, you can edit it and change it to something different if maybe yours is more difficult. Put your room number or uh, just a simple number that the students would be able to remember when accessing it. So the kids, if we go into, I was to log off, so let's see. So sign out. If the kids were to sign in, Socrative.com. We saw the teacher version, but if they were to come in and they put student login, they would just put in the room number. So they would put Hernandez 150 and then join. Oh, take a little bit to go in. And then once they're in, they'll be able to go into the activities that you put in there for them, the quizzes, and I'll show you some of the other ones that are in there. Sorry, it's taking a little bit, but it's very simple for them to log in. Like they just need your room number and they'll be able to go in. I don't know how long this one's gonna take. Let's see. I tried going back into the other one as the teacher. So that was how the kids would go in and see it and access them. They could do it from the iPads. Right here's another one that I did, adding and subtracting 3-digit numbers. This one I did it just a little bit different. Also, it's very easy to create as well. You could do add quiz, create a new one, and log me off since I got on the kid one, the student one. Okay, so you could go to quizzes, and I have this one here, which was also very simple. And the really cool thing about this one is that you can title it and you can also align it to the TEKS. When you go into after the title, it will tell you align quiz to standards. So you can put what subject. The one that I did was math, and then you look for the core, which is you just look for the Texas one, which is the one that I have it on right now. And then it'll give you the options like right under that as well, like what grade, and pick second, and then I can choose which one for math that it was. And it was we're doing right now 2.4 C, I believe I is what I did in this one. Add up to 4, no, it was, yeah, 2.4 C. Solve one step and multi-step word problems. So right there, and then I just did it very basic. You can put story problems, Miss Hernandez's class collected 431 aluminum cans. Ms. Villar's class collected 358 aluminum cans. How many more cans did Ms. Hernandez class collect and Ms. Villar's? And then they would answer it. It's an open ended, and you can put what the actual answer would be on there. And then this one right here, when adding 3-digit numbers, you must begin with the tens place. So it's a couple of different ones, just like the survey, that you can do multiple ways of answering: open ended, true, false, multiple choice. So, and you can add more questions. I just kept it simple and did 3 just for the purpose of showing you. You can enable to share it maybe with your teammates or other teachers that you may be working with as well. The other one, so this is the Socrative one. You can go to lounge. You can do exit tickets. Also, exit ticket is very simple though. It already has questions on there for you. Let's see. So it's like, how well did you understand today's material? Then the next one is, what did you learn in class today? And it's like a short answer. And you can have it to where you can hide other answers so that they don't put what their friends are putting, or where it shows names or doesn't show names. And then please answer the teacher's question. And that could be anything that maybe you posted on the board, or a paper that you shared with them, and they just answer it on here. So it's very basic. You can kind of play with it a little bit more. Once they're done, you can put finish. And if you don't want to check what they did to get the report or get the chart, you get it immediately after they start answering, and it'll be easier to give them fast feedback. But if you don't want to look at the report or the chart, just go to lunge. And then short answer. These other ones, they keep it very simple. A short answers, it will just be like one quick short answer. But you could play with it a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the last one for time purposes. And it's Google Forms. And then this one, you'd be able to find it in your Google Drive. If I open a new window, you want to go and find it, you could go to your Google Drive. Sorry again, the internet's being slow. If you go to My Drive and then create new one, right, new, and then let's see. Is it? Sorry again, it's super slow. Okay, so new, and then go to more, and that will be Google Forms. I want to just do it. Let's see. Okay. More. Okay, so again, Google Forms. So you can put create and share. So that's just how you can access it. And this will take you to a basic one where you'd be able to start from scratch. And you can kind of play with it, put different response questions that you want to ask, I would you could put it to words for math, for science, quick questions for the students, add multiple choice as well. This one's kind of like the Survey Monkey. It gives you different ways that the students could answer it by multiple choice, check boxes, drop downs. You could add pictures, multiple choice grid, just different things of your choice. You can keep it basic with the purple background. You can get fancy and go into customize themes. Let's see. So you could create a color. Add different colors, choose an image. And you can use one of your own images, and it also gives you a lot of different options, and each one has choices for you to pick from. So you just pick whatever goes with your lesson. Maybe you're talking about sports. Uh, if you're talking about maybe social studies, you could pick travel and pick some of the places that you that would apply to your lesson. But it's very simple. I think this could be also another tool. Like the monkey survey, where the students could eventually create their own questions. Again, like right now, we're working on solving story problems. We'll give them a number sentence, and the students are creating number sentences, story problems for their classmates to answer. So this could be a very, very simple way, especially for the upper elementary school grades. But so these are some of the tools that I wanted to share with you today. We're starting to run out of time. I'll leave it open for a few questions. I'll give you a minute if you want to have any questions. My moderator, my partner Jesus is there, and he would be able to answer any questions that you have. Nobody's on. Okay, so now, again, thank you for watching. I hope that you got some ideas for your classroom, ways of using the Survey Monkey, Socrative, Google Forms. Here is my email address again, and my Twitter handle, and Jesus, his email address as well. Thank you all again, and Jesus will be posting the link so that you could get your credit for watching. But again, thank you all.